How are you, my bro?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight.
Okay.
I'm so happy. I went to Peru. I eat a lot of things, but now I control my weight for 3 months.
Okay.
For these 3 months, I lost a lot. I already lost 5 kilograms.
Oh, damn.
Yes,
that's impressive.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
So I'm so happy. And the thing is, everybody, if you are listening to this, you are not going to notice. But the people who are watching this are going to notice that today we have one extra microphone. And that's mean today we have one special guest. Really interesting guest.
Really interesting
We have a lot of questions.
Yes.
We have a lot of things to talk about this topic. Let me be honest, I never thought about talk about this because we have a certain rules in Brosbond.
Yeah.
Most of the time we
kinda.
don't talk about religion because if I want to understand your religion,
Yes.
I need to be an expert. And if you want to understand my religion, you need to be an expert. But
today
today we have an expert.
We have the expert
We have
here.
the expert today. So today we are going to clarify the whole question, the whole ideas that we have. Are you ready? Can you be please? Please, I let you the opportunity to present the case in the most formal, in the most beauty, in the most with emotion way. I know you're going
I
to
see
read.
what you're doing. You're trying to put me on spot. Okay.
Always I do the best, bro.
Okay,
Come on.
I've done some tiny little bit research. Well, please correct me if I said anything wrong later. But we're gonna welcome the guest, and before that, let me read you guys a little bit about him. Okay, so this guy was born in 1984. Correct? Is that correct? 1984. Okay, so
Are you asking or you affirming?
I'm now getting the confirmation because he is only 3 years older than us, and he's made so many achievements already. Which is, you know, like we're gonna get to know a little bit more about him.
Bro, are you talking that I didn't do any achievement or something like that? Or what are you talking about,
You've
bro?
done well.
Okay.
Yes.
Being in another country,
But
speaking another language, and being...
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yeah. Okay. So he is a Taiwanese scholar, writer, translator, and he's a YouTuber known for his channel Happiness University, aka 禅师不打坐. He's fluent in Mandarin, Tibetan, Sanskrit, and English.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to...
罗卓仁谦 aka 熊仁谦 Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm quite nervous that when I heard that you mentioned about me that fluent in English, you know, makes me in great pleasure.
You are? I mean, like, that's just impressive.
No.
Okay,
You know, a person who's able to speak 4 languages.
if you can speak one language that is really, really older or really is really rare, I think it's really a big achievement.
I was born. I was born in 1994, as you mentioned, but I stayed in India with Tibetan communities for 9 years. That's why I speak Tibetan and Sanskrit. Just because I stayed there.
Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Wow, he made it sound like so just like, well, it's nothing because I
No,
lived
it's just
there,
like
but
the same thing that if you stay in
like a huge achievement.
Yeah, no. Bro, I was living in 9 years in India. Well, the food is good.
And I just kind of picked up, you know. like
I got to
nothing.
tell you something. First time when I saw your guys' YouTube and then when I saw your part, and I was thinking this guy must come from India. Because your accent, you know? I was like, oh my God, my Indian bro is here. I'm going to be so happy, you know? And later on, my colleagues mentioned that, oh, he's from Peru. I said, oh, all right.
Okay.
No, but I give you this because a lot of people in Taiwan, I think, don't have the picture of the Peruvian guy. So they think I'm from Philippines or I'm from India. But my accent, I can do accent Indian. I can do accent.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can surface this, but let's go ahead and have a little bit impression of your Indian accent. He's really good.
Welcome everybody. This is me, Enrique. I'm going to talk about in the podcast.
Oh my God. You can
Thank you. It's me, Concord.
It's me, Tyler.
It's me, Rinchen. Thank you.
And we are Brosbond. Welcome again. Welcome to Thailand. How do you feel today?
Lovely city. I haven't been Thailand for years, you know. This is, as I mentioned, this is my third time in here.
This is
Thailand.
the third time in Taiwan.
Yeah, Thailand.
Thailand.
Okay. You know, usually I don't leave Taipei. I'm just like these people usually call in Taiwanese. We say 天龙人.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that I stay in Taipei and I don't go anywhere. the only reason I leave Taipei is because I'm going to airport, which is in Taiwan. You know, that's the only thing I can do. But besides that, I don't travel in Taiwan. So,
But actually, I'm really curious. So, where are you from exactly? From the war.
good question. But, it's always difficult for me to answer that question because since I was born in Taiwan until the age of 10, then after I went to India, right? And apparently my father comes from Hong Kong, and his father came from Malaysia.
Oh.
And my mother's side, there is some. I think some guy comes from Japan or something. I'm not sure about that.
Okay,
you know, so yeah, it's hard for me to answer that question.
Okay.
Generally, I just say I'm from Asia. Okay, it's easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So we can define like you are from Asia.
Yeah.
But you're born in Taiwan.
Yes.
I have a really curious things about you that I think everybody wants to know and everybody need to know exactly. Maybe you can be the best person. What is the special thing of you? What is the reason you are here?
What makes you special?
What makes you different? Yeah.
Because I'm the chosen one. No, I'm not just what I'm saying. It's also this question is also hard for me to answer because it depends on different occasions. So in particular occasion, I always say like I got 8 companies. You know, people think, oh wow, you have big success in business. But usually people know me because I was a monk before.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's usually what people know about me. I was a monk for like 8 or 9 years, something like that. Yeah.
8 or 9 years.
You were a monk for 8 or 9 years.
Yes.
But you're like only 3 years older than us. So since what age to what age?
I became a monk when I was in the age of 10.
10?
Ooh.
So I stayed 2 years in Taiwan as a monk. I lived in Thailand maybe 6 months before, when I was in the age of 12. Yanshui.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And after
In
that,
the middle of nowhere.
yeah, really, in the middle of nowhere. And then, you know, in our class, there's only like 5 people.
Oh, okay.
No way, really?
Really. There's only like farm, and you cannot see anything else.
Okay.
Then after
He's
that,
got chicken as neighbors.
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Because
I
I live in one place who is an old town, really old, and my old neighbors are farmers. So
I got chicken as neighbor, and I also got cow as neighbor when I was in India.
Oh, really?
So afterwards, I went to India for 6 years. I stay in a monastery. The place is called West Bengal, which is in the eastern part of India.
Yeah.
Nearby the Sikkim, which is like a state, and it belongs to the Himalayan region. So the height was like 3,000 meters, and then there's beside my room there's cows, chicken, and everything. I would stay there for 6 years. And after I come back to Taiwan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's dive in a little bit about your life in India.
Okay.
So since you speak fluent Tibetan and Sanskrit.
Better than my English.
Yeah, but you moved there at the age of 10.
Yes.
How did you
in
learn?
the age of 12.
At the
I
age of
started
12, yeah. How did you
study as he. He just mentioned that he was here and he started to study English and Chinese in Taiwan.
All from
That's the same
scratch.
thing. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think when you are a child, you have a more easy.
Yeah, it's easier.
It's more
It's easier
easy
to
to learn
absorb.
more
Yes,
language.
yes.
My question is, I'm not really familiar with the Buddhist
Of course,
culture.
you don't have to be.
Yeah, I'm totally Catholic and I'm studying a lot about the Catholic culture. But I'm listening. One thing really interesting is when you decide to be a monk, actually your family stopped to call you song.
Oh yes.
They need to call you like a
Master.
Shifu.
Yes.
Dang, how do you feel? My question now for you is, how do you feel in one period of your time you stop to be a song, and now you start to call like a shifu? The familiar, I don't know, that the connection between your father and your mother is kind of another.
And the dynamic kind of
changed. Yeah, a dynamic change. Yeah. For one kid, how do you feel that that's affect to you? That's how is the process?
I think my situation is quite different than others because my mom, I used to say that my mom is like a Buddhist ISIS. Like
Buddhist ISIS?
Yes. She told me that I give birth to you because I want to offer a child for Buddhism.
No way!
Like in the age of 3. I never eat meat in my life. Seriously, till now. I never eat meat. You know, I'm vegetarian since I was born. Before I was born even. You know, when she was pregnant. I'm a vegetarian since then. And I was in the young age. When I was in my childhood, I never allowed to watch any cartoon beside there is a monk in Japan, you know, Issho Heshang.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Ikkyu-san. There is a monk, you know, it's a story about
that show before, yeah.
But that's the only cartoon I can watch. My mom, like, she tried to build up an environment for me to, you know, feel that I'm born to be a monk. So my situation will be quite different, as you mentioned.
Quick question.
Yes.
So the decision of you transition from being a son to being a monk, was it voluntarily?
So it's quite a bit complicated because I decided to be a monk when I was in the age of 8. Okay,
Oh, you
8.
decided.
But it's not like really
you
voluntary
were
because
8.
but
decided.
and the situation, you feel like this is a good thing to do, right?
Yeah, of course.
But by the time my mom denied, she said no because I'm very weak. I'm not in a good health condition.
Okay.
So then she said that you should, trying to build up a good health condition. Then I started to, I play kung fu when I was small. I tried to train myself. I went to.
I don't know if that's a tag or a cliche.
Okay. Yeah, and I was well trained, in kung fu and everything. And then when I got the age of 10, I started to forget about, being a monk. I started like, okay, I'm going to have a lay life. I'm going to, join Olympic one day. I was very far into kung fu. And one day my mom said, "Oh, you're going to be a monk from now."
You're ready to become a monk.
Yes, you're ready.
That is kind of really interesting.
It's like an announcement, And the announcement comes like comes in the phase of a discussion. So suddenly she said, "I want to discuss something with you." And it's not discussion at all. And it's like an announcement. She said, "I think you should be a monk. It's time for you." And then I became a monk since then.
Okay.
That's the first thing. But afterwards, I went to India. That was the decision was made voluntarily by me.
Oh,
because my plan was, by the time I thought that I would be a monk for whole life. So I started to think about my monk career. What sort of monk I want
career.
to be? There's also plenty of monk. There's just like podcaster. There's all sorts of podcaster.
Yes.
I started to think what kind of monk I want to be.
Yeah.
So I like to study. I want to be a scholar. So people usually say that if you want to be a scholar, you have to join Tibetan Buddhism. So I was under Chinese Buddhism. It's quite different, just like Catholics and Protestant. But afterwards, then I went to India and I joined the Tibetan Buddhist community and I studied there. Yeah. So that's my situation. But for the question you are asking, in Chinese, we call this being a monk as 出家. So 出家 means that leaving the home. You leave your house. You rebuild the connection with your family since then. So there will be a ceremony. Then people have the monk. They usually shave their hair, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they will shave their hair as a young people, as a lay people like you. If you want to be a monk, then you have to shave your hair, everything, but you have to let a small part of your hair there. Then in the ceremony, your master will ask, "Are you sure? Are you sure you're gonna be a monk?"
That's a small part. It's like a
that's last chance with your lay life. But sometimes it doesn't work like that, because before, you have to shave the hair, and then your friend or your senior monks, they forgot to keep that for you, So the connection is not there.
One over the most. We forget.
Yeah. That happens all the time. Yeah, and then the master will ask you, "Are you sure?" They'll ask you 3 times, and then if you say yes, I'm sure, then he'll cut it off. He'll shave it off. Then at that moment, you become a monk. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Then what is the process of you, from a monk and then back to?
Usually we call it disrobe. So monk wear robes, right?
Yeah,
usually we call
disrobe.
it disrobe. Yeah.
Oh.
You just have to tell your master, say, "Okay, I give up." That's all. So Buddha built this rule like this because Buddha, what he was trying to say is that being a monk is so difficult, but give it up is very easy. Just like every precious thing.
Yeah.
Every precious thing, it's very difficult to get it, just like relationship and everything. It's difficult to keep it, but it's easy to give it up. So being a monk is a very precious thing. So once you give it up, it's very easy. You just tell your master, and your master, "Okay, then you go."
So in order to become a monk, you gotta be enrolled into certain specific academy, right, to get properly trained. and
It depends.
educated.
Just as I mentioned, there's all sorts of monk. So that's why I become Tibetan monk because. For instance, nowadays in Taiwan, most of them are Chinese monks under the Chinese
So
Buddhism
there's
tradition.
Chinese monk, Tibetan monk, and some.
Usually we
monk?
call them Southern. In Buddhist language, we call them Theravada. Theravada means these monks from Southern Asia, including like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Laos, Burma. So there's Southern Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, and Chinese Buddhism usually.
Okay, I have one question. So since 10 years, and I'm really curious about your education. So
Yes.
it's because the normal people will have a certain type
Yes,
of
yes,
normal
yes,
standard
yeah.
education.
Yes. Yeah.
Science.
No, that's the only thing I studied when I was, especially when I was in India.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was in India. Because Tibetan Buddhism, the Tibetan...
Describe that. I mean, exactly. What did you don't study? You don't study anatomy,
No,
physics.
no.
Language.
I studied only Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist history, and Buddhist ideology, of course, and Buddhist logic.
Wow, so it's very
Wow.
specific.
8 or 9 years that you was a monk, like a child. What's the things that change your life? What are the things that mark or feel like yes, because like you say, give up is so fast. It's so easy. You can give up basically the next year. You can give up. A lot of people go to the gym and just give up 1 week after the gym.
That happens on me.
Yeah.
Being a monk is rather easier than going to gym for 1 week, okay? It's easier than that.
Really?
Yes. Being a monk 9 years means nothing. Going to gym for 9 days just kill me.
But the thing is that how makes you be constantly learning, constantly doing this?
It's quite simple for me because the thing is that because I'm in this, I was raised in this environment, right? So from my perspective, first of all, I like to study. You know, I'm this kind of people who like to debate. I like to debate. I like to discuss what is truth and how this world work. What is the nature of human? I like all sorts of this kind of philosophical questions. So monks like makes me feel happy because of that. You know, we study a lot about this kind of topics. That's the first thing. And secondly, I think it's because I have this kind of connection, or I have this kind of maybe you can call it love in Buddhism. You know, but I was raised in Taiwan till the age of 10. I was born here, and I can see that there's so many things that people know about Buddhism is mistake or it's just a misunderstanding. I think that's this kind of motivation. That's why I stayed there for years. Yeah.
This conversation is in one roller coaster. we are in the up, and now we go to the down. Because you told about, it's like the way how you express feels like you truly believe in this. You really want this. You are a strong relationship with this. And now my question is, why you give up?
Because I mean, it's like, you know, the debate, as I mentioned, debate is not it's just like the method, or it's like a tool for us. You know, it's a method or it's a tool for us to study Buddhism. So once you debate more and more, you got this kind of idea. When I read any Buddhist text and I start to think about, you know, what's the meaning inside? If it is contradict, you know, I read this one and I read another way, you know, in different scripture that mention definitely contradict ideas. And what's the answer of that? When I was there for like 6 or 7 years after I studied in Tibetan Buddhism, I'm sort of well trained. I don't have to study more. If I study more, it's just like, for me, you know, if study more means like spending more time on studying different topic or different scripture. But the method itself, there's no more thing for me to study. Oh. I sort of know how to study
the way familiar.
Yes, monk become like a system. So there's all sorts of monk, right? Some monks, they are in the position of teaching. Some monks in the position of meditating all the time. They don't deal with other people. Some monks, they are just taking care of the monastery, you know, this kind of work. They don't even teach. They are just like lay people. They're just like general
There's
person.
different practice.
Yes, they're different practice and different position, right? For me, I wasn't planning to be a teacher at all, actually. I was planning to be a scholar, you know. Until now, I still like to study more than doing business and everything. So at the time, you know, for me, Tibetan Buddhism, as if I want to be a scholar, stay in Tibetan Buddhism for like 7 years or 8 years is enough for me by the time. I don't really care about, you know, if I got the name of graduation or the title or anything. What I care is about the knowledge. And I really want to spend that time. I want to spend my life inside this kind of knowledge. Or I want to be a scholar. I don't really care about, you know, if I got any names or if I got any student or anything. What I care is about knowledge. Because the reason I left monastery, another thing is because I was planning to go to Japan afterwards, actually. And I stayed there for like 1 year to study Japanese Buddhism. Yeah, and that's what happened later on. And that's the main reason. So basically,
the journey didn't end. You just gave up the title of becoming like...
Yeah.
And how is your journey now?
Before age of 19, when I was a monk, the life was like hell, actually. You know, if you talk about physically. When I was a monk in Tibet, in India, I stayed in Tibetan monastery. And it's like, you know, situation is... So we always got only rice and chili for dinner.
Rice and chili.
Yes, rice and chili for dinner. 6 years. Yeah.
Was that part of the training?
No, it's because we are poor. We were poor, very poor. You know, the condition wasn't well. We only got rice and chili for dinner. And the electricity wasn't stable at all. Yeah, and then we have to study from... we have to join the puja, which is mean prayer. It was from morning like 5 a.m. And then the debate end on 10 p.m. actually.
Wow.
You only got 7 hours for your sleep and everything. bath, sleep, or anything you need to do, you have to finish in 7 hours.
I've got a question. Since it's a very specific academy, right?
Yes.
Did you have to pay like any
No,
tuition?
you don't have to pay.
Oh, so it was completely.
Yes, but you don't have to pay, but you have to pay by in other way, which means you have to work for monastery.
Oh, like a service hours.
see.
Yes,
like service hours.
yes.
Totally.
So I still remember, in the cold days, it's snowing there. Even in the, I think maybe October it starts to snow sometimes.
I see.
But and then we have to wash 200 people's place under the cold water. I have to wash their place. My hand, I cannot feel it. I have to. I cannot say. It's freezing. It's not just free. I cannot feel it for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
In Tibetan debate, we always clap our hands. If you saw this kind of video, the people who ask the question, they will clap their hands. And the people who answer questions sit there. That time when I went to Tibet, I cannot feel it at all. I'm not sure I clap it or not. My
hands are falling apart.
Yeah, the life was like that. And then there's only 1 month of vacation every year. Yeah, so I won't say it's easy. I won't say it's a paradise at all.
Yeah. After that period, you return to the normal life.
The modern society.
The modern society.
That's true. Every
How
time.
was that changed?
Usually I have to come back every year because of the visa. So I have to come back to Taiwan to build up my visa, and I go there, right? So the flight from Nepal to Hong Kong. That flight, I just can't fall asleep. I'm always waiting. I sit beside the window, and I'm always waiting to see the light of modern society. Because in Kathmandu, it's not a modern place, so there's no light at all, night times. But when the flight is, arriving in Hong Kong, then you can see lots of light. Then you say, I'm back to the modern city. Yeah, that's the thing, you just mentioned. Make me feel.
From forest to concrete forest.
Yes, that's the thing.
But that's the thing, you start to appreciate more. You can tell me another thing that you appreciate about your normal life.
Cha ye dan.
What is that?
Cha ye dan. Cha ye dan is a tea egg. You can get in 7-Eleven.
Basically, it's boiled eggs.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we can get that in India.
You can get?
You can't. I can't. When I having when I have my rice with chili when I was back in India, I always think, oh my god, where's the cha ye dan? I need some cha ye dan. I gotta get cha ye dan here. It's quite difficult.
Well, you used to be a monk, of course, not anymore, but. I think the way you're presenting yourself and the way that you are promoting or teaching people about the philosophy of Buddhism, it's a very refreshing way.
When I was studying in India, my teacher one day he mentioned something. He said that the Buddhism itself is just like porridge. But porridge you can put in different kind of bowl, right? There is paper bowl, there is wood bowl, there is gold bowl, there's all sorts of bowl. But the point is porridge, but not the bowl. So what he's trying to make the point is that Buddhism, you can make it wrap in all sorts of different kind of way. You can in a fresh way, in a traditional way, in a conservative way, or not so conservative, whatever. But the point is the porridge itself. So the point is Buddhism itself. The way you show it or the way you're trying to wrap it is not the point.
Doesn't matter how you wrap it up.
Yeah,
it's more like the people.
Yes,
what
yes.
is the
The young
essence?
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
The audience. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I have a curious question.
Yeah.
go ahead.
I love your question.
So, monks
Cannot get married.
Yes.
No, they cannot get married. They cannot have sex life.
Wow.
Even masturbation.
No.
Yes. You cannot have masturbation. if you're a
but I
monk.
mean, like physically, when you hit puberty, you will hormones will kind of be like skyrocket.
Yeah.
All sorts of
It's
stuff. but
natural.
You got to conquer it. You got to conquer it. Otherwise, you can't be a monk. So Buddha is like.
So that's why you give up.
Yeah, people used to ask me if that's the reason. You got to conquer it, because from the whole Buddhist society is designed by Buddha himself. So his idea is like being a monk doesn't. If you want to practice Buddha Dharma, doesn't mean you have to be a monk. So if you be a monk, basically monk they don't create anything. They don't do business. They don't.
Yeah.
They just stay there and then they ask people for offerings. So which means that they have to be mentally quality. They have to have more mental quality than others. They have to be more stable. They can conquer their desire and all sorts of things. If you can't, you can disrobe. You can leave the monastery. But if you want to be a monk, you have to follow this rule. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I think after this episode, a lot of monks are going to follow you.
That's happened. When I go back to India, I always have to keep humble. I cannot just raise my. I have to keep humble. Otherwise, my classmate will always say, come on, you're trying to prove that this robe is better. I have to keep humble, otherwise my teacher will kill me. I always have to keep humble, trying to make myself doesn't look like so enjoyable, and just looks like I'm so tired. Being late is a mistake. I want to be monk again. Blah blah blah. I can say things like that.
But he say like, yeah, this is the life.
That's the thing.
When you're talking or when you're communicating with people who obviously from different culture, different country, different religions, and when you have that I wouldn't say conflict, but you recognize, you acknowledge that there is this big difference. How do you listen? How do you open up? Or how do you reflect and then really be more expressive?
So I think the first thing is that usually, I never, usually when I meet people outside, I never say that I'm a Buddhist philosopher or scholar or anything. I always say I'm just a businessman. It's easier. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Bad for the relationship, good for the women's. Yeah.
I always say that. I can see that you're from Peru. And I always just I just say I'm a businessman. I don't really want to share my religious ideology to people. The reason is because from Buddhist perspective, we believe that if you need so, then we'll share with you. If you don't need, I'm not in the position to spread my idea. So I usually I don't talk about it. I always talk about, this restaurant is so good. I'm a vegetarian, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But of course, sometimes I meet people who like to start this kind of conversation with me, and we go deep inside the, some perspective, some part. So for me, nobody can change my belief in Buddha Dharma based on certain reason. But for others, I think it's just a different the way you understand this world. You believe there is a God or no? If you believe there is a karma or no? If you believe there is a samsara, which means that you're going to rebirth and rebirth or no? It's just a way you understand this world. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there is a right or wrong from my perspective. Because just like you like noodle, he like rice. I cannot say it's right or wrong, right? It's just the way, the perspective. And the perspective itself doesn't mean yes or no, right? Only if, there's like a scientific evidence that say, that's the thing. Of course, then we follow it. Otherwise, just the way we understand the world. Debating on that is not so necessary from my perspective. Yeah,
I'm one person who overthinking too much, and I think about a lot of things.
We gotta overthink it here.
I think a lot about the life. And actually, I'm Catholic. We believe like the long life. That means we die, and after
the Messiah.
We die, and after one period of time, Jesus is coming back to the air, and we are going to return to the air.
Yeah.
For my perspective, that is wrong, because it's like imagine.
Wait, hold on. You believed?
I believe
you're
because
Catholic, but
I believe in that because
you need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to your priest. You need to talk to someone.
But that's the thing. I need to talk to you because that's the thing.
You can talk to me. Okay. I'm the answer.
For me, is imagine if when Jesus comes to the world again and everybody returns to the life. Your grandfather, and the father.
It's gonna be so crowded.
How many people are going to be?
That's not the point. Come on, crowd is not the point.
Okay.
There's Jesus here.
So
he can fix the problem.
Jesus will make the room for everybody.
You'll not make the room. You'll make nations and islands.
But that is the thing. I think it's going to be too much people in the world. We are going to suffer. We are not going to have enough food. We are not going to.
I think that's just his business. That's not your business.
So the thing
you don't have to worry about that. You are not the CEO of that.
I'm not the CEO of that company.
You don't have to take care of that. But
the thing is, in the Buddhism, is you return to you have a past life.
Yes.
Yeah.
You come back with another personality.
Yes.
So that's mean basically the number of people who live in the world is the same for the whole times.
No, because reincarnation happens only in human beings. So if you do good deeds, maybe you rebirth as a human. But if you didn't do good deeds, maybe you rebirth as a cockroach in Tainan.
Oh, so that's mean the creatures in the world are the same for all the time.
So there is many worlds, we believe. There is like many planets, many worlds.
Oh, you believe in having many planets?
Yes. There's many planets, many worlds. People born here, go there, blah, blah, like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's really interesting.
I could have been a dinosaur before life.
All of us were dinosaur, actually. All of us were dinosaur, Yeah. There was a time that our hand was like that. Let me share why I believe in reincarnation, okay? So my teacher, my real teacher, which means in Tibetan we call my Lama. So besides Dalai Lama, Karmapa is the most important spiritual leader in entire Tibetan Buddhism. And the lineage of Karmapa is well known as the one who creates the reincarnation system. So what we believe that people reincarnate. Reincarnate means that after you die, you rebirth. That's called reincarnation.
Yeah.
All of us reincarnate, but we don't know where.
Check out, checking.
But we don't know where we are going, and we don't know where we came from.
Yes.
But the Karmapa situation is different. He know where he's going. So, for instance, my teacher, he is the 17th Karmapa, and he was born in the year of 1985. But he is recognized as the title of Karmapa because when the 16th Karmapa, which is his previous life, passed away, he left a letter. And on that letter, he write very precisely that after a few years, you guys gonna go this place, and then the father name is blah blah blah, the mother name is blah blah blah, and then this son, he was born in the year of ox, and he got some symptoms on his body. That's my reincarnation. And that happens 16 times already. So he's 17th Karmapa, right? So he starts from the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th till now.
So every single time,
yes,
you guys found the person.
And then the letter is very clear.
Damn, but what happens if you?
So there is reincarnation, okay? There is reincarnation. You don't even have to worry about everybody's crowded. 最近呢，非常喜欢科学的尊者达赖喇嘛，他与这个 Desmond Tutu 主教一起开了一堂无尽的喜悦之路的课程，那么现在正在 Press Play 募资中，募资的早鸟价会到11月14号。那么在这过程中，如果是我们的听众，你只要到这个页面上呢，输入 Brosbond 的这一个折扣码的话，就会有250块的折扣哦，可以跟我们一起去锻炼自己的内心，更了解如何变成一个更好的人，珍惜自己的 karma。
Yes, of course. And the limited time special offer, which is the 250 discount code, ends on November 14th. So
November
people,
14th.
Yes, if you're interested in, becoming more happier, healthier, and more grounded,
And
go ahead and check out the course.
It's really good. It's really good to learn more new things, to expand your mind.
Yes.
So let's go buy the course. And don't forget to use the code, the discount code of Brosbond.
Yes, all in capital, BROSBOND, Brosbond.
All in the description of this video. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode because I really enjoyed it. Thank you for staying here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
for coming. It's my pleasure. Well, you want to say your social media?
So I got a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Called 禅师不打坐. So 禅师 means meditator, but 禅师不打坐 means meditator don't meditate.
Good number.
Because I'm hanging around every day. Yeah, so there's my YouTube channel, and my name is Xiong. Usually people address me as Xiong Renqian. Roger Renqian is my Tibetan name actually. It's called Roger Renqian. Then later on, I took the part Renqian, and I trying to find a good word in Chinese. Renqian means kindness and humble.
Okay.
Two qualities that I don't got.
So that is not your...
That's not my birth name or my given name.
That's not your birth name.
Not at all. Not at
So
all.
you have your birth legal name, and you have Roger Renqian, and
I got like 20 names actually.
20 names.
20 names.
Once you become a monk, you always got names.
Really?
In this occasion, you got one name. Yes. I got all sorts of names. I got more. 20 names.
You've got names. Oh, he's got
I got
so many
names.
Which is perfect for being a fuckboy.
That's why I disrobe.
Tomorrow I'm going to say it. Not really. I'm going to follow.
You should join us. You should join Buddhist.
With my father. Together.
Yeah, and so my Instagram is called Xiong Renqian. Yeah, and you can discover some I don't know, some topic I study. I used to share with people over there. Yeah.
The whole links are going to stay in the description of this video, everybody. So don't forget to go and check out. Everybody, that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, comment your important part, because in this video, especially in this video, is a lot of things that we need to talk about. So we are going to reply your comments in the moment that you comment. Everybody, it's me, Concord.
It's me, Tyler.
It's me, Renqian. Thank you.
And we are Brosbond!